We started in Beijing, and now we're on 5 continents. And we work with students around the world who are roughly 12 to 18. That said, that once they've worked with our organization, they tend to want to stay involved because the empowerment and the things that they took on and felt good about taking on has allowed them to have so much efficacy and want to continue. So it's one of the things that I'd like to talk about is that I really would like to put in a pitch that I have a card and you can read more about what we do, but we'd like to get you involved more with students of that age. I think you'll be really delighted to see what they bring to the table, and they will learn so much from you by being seen as a peer, by you involving them in your projects and listening to their point of view. Many people they bring a new perspective, some new solutions that we hadn't thought about. And every day, I think I know some of the people that brought that case. The guy from Earth Guardians, he's an amazing speaker. He spoke at Paris. We've had conferences both in COP21 and COP22 with students from around the world. But students are really stepping up. And the students we work with, as I listen to everybody talking, they seem to really grasp that this is their future. And they know that. And so they're asking questions, they're looking for information. And I feel like when I was listening to everything people said, they're pretty good at sniffing out where the truth lies. And they're very good at knowing what's in their future and coming up with ideas to solve those problems. We have materials on our website which ask kids to think about what you're passionate about. There's a lot of very positive research about that now. If it's something you're passionate about, you're going to stay involved, you're going to just work from sunup till sundown on it, and that's what these kids are doing. And they feel so good about what they're involved in. They have teams of kids. They then, after they've come up with some solutions, they create a film. They come to conferences we have around the world, we just had one in Marrakesh. We then had one in Quito. We're having one in Panama. And so coming to that conference are going to be kids who've all created a project which actually addressed a global issue and has had an impact. And that is something they really are proud of. But also when you have 300 or 400 kids in a room who said, oh, well, I did that, but not in like a bragging way. It's like a way like, well, if you can do it, I can do it. It's energizing, and I think that's a bit of what you felt. I was so glad that Sill was in Marrakesh when I was there, and I asked him, and he came over and did a speech or a keynote at the conference that we had at the American School of Marrakesh. I actually lived in Morocco for 9 years, so the idea of going there and bringing the conference that we've been growing and the kids and the ethos we've been growing to that country was really very important to me. My kids feel like they were raised there. But I think you felt a very positive energy. Richard also attended the conference we had in Seattle, Washington, at a school that was really terrific school. And again, you really shared some feeling of hope, and you could tell that the kids had this confidence, and I don't think it's well-founded that they can do this. And so what I'm hoping, my points of action are that anytime you can, step back and think, is there a way I could involve more young people? Maybe we have a mentorship program that's on our website. So if you give me your name and say, I could be a mentor, we're going to find somebody around the world. Maybe it's 3 or 4 kids. Ashley works with 5 gin-turns. 3 are from Brazil, 1 is from Panama, and the other one is from, but anyway, it's like Peru. So, that's the 5 kids that meet with her once or twice a week, and they've been planning courses. They've taught kids a virtual program around the world on how to be a global ambassador to grow our program in their schools, because we don't want it to be adult-driven. We want it to be student-driven. And kids realize that we really respect what they're doing and their ability to do that. And that program now is in its first level, but it's going to double, triple, we're really looking at exponential growth because we feel we owe this to these kids. They can't get enough of having these real world chances to get involved with you. We have a global network. Part of what Richard, who wrote High Noon, 20 Global Problems, 20 Years to Solve It, he had two basic premises, which we kind of started with, is that we ask that our students all consider themselves global citizens. And that really empowers them because, A, they know their local project has definitely global ramifications, which is really important to them. But it also, there's no national barriers. They just see that they all have common concerns that they're going to work on. The other thing was to create a network, which now, the book was written 16 years ago. The networks really work, and these kids now are in contact with people around the world that have similar problems. They're trying to see, well, you worked on that, the idea of how to save wood, all those things. We're trying to share as much as we can. So those are things. What I'd like to say to you is if you'll send us things that you think students, Richard's been very good to send me lots of information that I try to share with kids when, when they're asking questions about this. But if there's things that you think kids, not if you think, there's a lot of things that you know about and could share with us that we'd like to share with kids, and they will benefit from knowing about it. And I think sometimes we even underestimate what their interest level is. The other thing we've discovered, which I think has been a bonus, is we've also discovered that when kids, young people, feel strongly about something, their parents actually listen to what they're saying. Oh, maybe I'll quit using plastic bags. I mean, the kids can get the parents to do it. Things we try up and down, all these different things, parents, and I'm not trying to be unfair to parents, but we found that the kids are really good at getting people to make changes in their lives. And also, we found that age child is absolutely idolized by younger children. So, like my grandson had a kid come to his classroom and tell him about composting. He was out there, he was 4 years old. He was digging, I got to start composting because that kid told me I have to compost. And he's never going to forget that. So this age group is just magical. They want it, they know it, they're very capable, and they're finding, this guy that invented the plastic vacuum cleaner, they're coming up with all sorts of solutions that sometimes we just hadn't realized, and we definitely could benefit from working with them. So I'd like to offer you that we'll publish things on our network. I'd like to ask you to be mentors with some of these students, and I think whoever we partner you with, it'd be a neat interchange about what do you think about this as a 12-year-old, or what's on your mind. So those are things. And then I was speaking to Warren, we were talking about that we really would like to, I thought when I was asked to come up with action items to really make a difference, it seems to me there could be an open source curriculum, K to 12, that really would start giving kids some ideas of how that are age appropriate, that could be a global curriculum. We have kids around the world that could translate it into other languages. We work with international schools, that was our life, so we pretty much could get it translated into any language. And think how great it would be if there was this common platform that was available to everybody so they could start feeling like they were moving forward in mass. I feel it would provide them a lot of hope and even get them more energized to keep doing a lot of what they're doing. So, thank you.